Hello. Gosh, I'm sort of pleased I'm crowing in a not entirely commendable way. I'm crowing over somebody else's misery. Nadine Dorries is about to be referred to the Privileges Committee exactly like Boris has been, and the Privileges Committee will then have the option of suspending her from the House of Commons for lying, and then after that uh, her constituency may well choose to deselect her, and she will stop being an MP, not going into the House of Lords, not also going into the House of Commons. I think that would be an appropriate, a fitting end for Nadine Dorries. Why? Being an MP is a privilege and an opportunity. It's an opportunity to help others, and particularly when one is appointed as a minister, there is an opportunity there. And Nadine Dorries is somebody who was herself involved in reality TV. Here she was as the minister with power over that whole issue, and she did nothing. In fact, there is nothing that I can put my finger on that she did for the whole of her tenure as the Secretary of State for Digital Culture, Media and Sport. Nothing. The few bills that came out that she tried to push through the House of Commons were riddled with error. Why? Because actually, like Liz Truss, she doesn't have her eye on the game, she doesn't do detail, she doesn't read the brief. She seems, like Liz Truss, to have preferred summaries. And a summary is not what she's paid for. She's paid to get into the detail, to respond to correspondence, to do the job. And I wrote to her very early on. In fact, I wrote to her on the day she was appointed, and at the same time as I was about to go into hospital for cancer. I wrote to her because I was concerned, I still am concerned, that reality TV is a growing phenomenon in this country and across the world. Reality TV takes up so much of our TV output because it's cheap, and it's acquired significant popularity. And yet, people who are on reality TV are hurt and hurt and hurt. And the audience watching reality TV, I think, is compromised itself by watching what is in effect a gladiatorial display. And it's not enough to throw psychiatry at the problem after the event. We have to solve the problem at source. We have to find out what is wrong. Of course, part of the problem is that so much reality TV is based on two pernicious experiments in America, the Milgram experiment and so on, where individuals were put into situations which were not entirely honest. And they were filmed in those situations. They were asked to do things which they wouldn't normally do. And there are some excellent podcasts and things. I was involved in one called The Edge of Reality, which really I thought put its finger on the problem. And the DCMS convened a committee to look into this problem after the Jeremy Kyle and Love Island suicides. And yet, at the 2019 election, the election Boris won, that committee stopped and was never reconvened. And on the back of what that committee had already heard, it produced an Ofcom regulation which simply is not up to scratch. It puts into regulation form accepted practice, production practice, as it already has existed. And it enshrines bad practice. It needs to change. We need to find better ways of protecting protecting people. Nadine Dorries had an opportunity. She did nothing. She did nothing, but more than that. She's actually contributed to the problem by lying about people. She was on television with people who cannot answer back. That is the problem. It's not just about her. It's about the people she has damaged. And that damage is built into these programs. She is a footnote to this subject, and she is a footnote to the damage which these programs do. She is perpetuating that. That is why she is wrong. I'm not obsessed with her. I have so little interest in Nadine Dorries as a person. I've read her books. I cannot believe that the same person who wrote those books, which are actually quite good yarns, is the same person who twits mindlessly again and again in her rah-rahing for Boris. I cannot believe her Twitter account is written by the same person who wrote these books. It's as if we got two sides, two characters inhabiting the same name. But that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with some sort of split personality. And I don't think this is the sort of person who should be representing anybody in Parliament. I'm delighted that John Nicholson, I wrote to him a while ago, that John Nicholson is now taking the same view, that he believes and the committee believes that she lied. And now, not only should it go to the Privileges Committee, not only should this be rubber stamped and confirmed by the Commons, but I think effort should now be made to undo some of the damage that this crypto minister has caused. By wasting time, she has caused damage. And we now need to unpick and undo the damage she has done.